second to last regular season home game at the Coliseum. New York Islanders hockey is presented to you by the pros at your Tri-State GMC dealers. Find yours at tristategmc.com. It is also Decades Night here at the Old Barn. Players from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s are back to say goodbye to the Coliseum. They've been hanging out and chatting about their playing days since morning skate, also interacting with fans and the players. And the festivities are underway already. They've already honored the players here from the 70s, Ed Westfall and Gary Howard. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside Nassau Coliseum. I'm Shannon Hogan. Puck drop between the Islanders and the Sabres moments away here on MSG. But first, we want to join what is already in progress now, the on-ice festivities for Decades Night.
The decade of the 90s saw many changes to the Islanders on and off the ice. First, in 1991, the team made a trade with the Buffalo Sabres that would bring a player who quickly became a fan favorite. He'd scored 340 points in 255 regular season games as an Islander. His 132 points in the 1992-93 season helped lead the team to the conference final, where he would score the series clincher against the Washington Capitals. And second, a heart and soul member of the Islanders from the 1990s through the 2000s. He was a guy you always wanted on your team. He led with a no-fear attitude that gave everyone in the room confidence and pride to wear the Islanders jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the 90s decade, number 77, Pierre Turgeon, and Webby, Steve Webb. From the decade of the 2000s, we have with us tonight an NCAA national champion from Boston University. The following year, he led the NHL in shorthanded goals, but he's most remembered for that playoff penalty shot goal against the Toronto Maple Leafs when the roof sounded like it was going to collapse from the roar of the fans. A goal that would give the Islanders the lead in the game and tie the series. That same series, our next honored guest would become a huge fan favorite, taking on the role of enforcer for the next 6 seasons. His feuds with the Leafs' Shane Corson, Dale Purinton, and Theo Fleury, or anyone in a Rangers uniform, are legendary. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shawn Bates and Eric Cairns.
Hockey fans, let's hear it for the team of today, your New York Islanders.
Great little tribute to some of the fan favorites over the past several decades here at the Coliseum. Ceremonial puck drop and the game are coming your way on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
On defense, number 3, Travis Hamonic. And number 37, Ryan Straight. Gentlemen, as we
Isles and Sabres at the Coliseum. It will be a packed house for one of the final regular season matchups. Isles looking to clinch the playoffs tonight. Also, Decades Night. Just a reminder, closed captioning is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Before we get to puck drop, let's take a look at the GMC key players brought to you by the pros at your Tri-State GMC dealers. Find yours at tristategmc.com. The leaders for both teams, John Tavares, who is still in the hunt for the Art Ross Also, Tyler Ennis, 19 goals, 24 assists, leading the way for the Sabres. And now let's head up to the booth. Howie Rose and Butch Goring have the call.
All right, well, Butch will be here eventually, Shannon. He's still out there posing for pictures like he always does. You know Butch, there's no camera that can hold Butchie back. But right in the center of the picture, there's 18. Eddie Westfall introducing himself to Brian Giunta for the ceremonial puck drop with John Tavares. And if Eddie has Islander blood to this day, he'll put that right on JT's stick, which he just about does. And Eddie Westfall, my old broadcast partner, will be in the booth, joining us in between periods number 1 and 2. As you look at all of those honored tonight, Kenny Morrow, Steve Webb, Eric Cairns, and others. And, oh, Eddie soaked it up. You can tell at the age now of 74 how much hearing the adulation from these fans means to him. And you know what? There was another interested observer as well, albeit not in an Islanders sweater, either among the present-day players or those being honored. That's Brian Trottier, who, of course, played with 18 and several of the others out there. Brian now an assistant coach with the Buffalo Sabres, and obviously had a chance to chat with some of those fellas earlier. But this, I know, means a lot to Eddie Westfall as well as all of those honored tonight. It's great to see them back here at the Coliseum. Now, as for the here and now, the goaltending matchup is brought to you by Visa Checkout, and there is some new to the here and now. This is what you've become familiar with, Yaroslav Halak in goal for the Islanders. And at the other end is a kid who's making his National Hockey League debut, Andrei Makarov, who was born in April of 1993 during the Islanders-Washington Capitals playoff series, which we look back on a little bit with Pierre Turgeon here today. But enough reminiscing. It's time for a huge game for the Islanders if they can win, and if Washington beats Ottawa in regulation time. That's it. The Islanders will be in the playoffs, and then everything else will take care of itself. From the opening draw, Zach Bogosian, number 47. Trying to hook up with Tyler Ennis, number 63. That missed. Tyson Strachan, number 24, handles the puck for the Sabres, who also have Giunta, their captain, up front, along with Rohan Larsson, number 22. And the Islanders going with Franz Nielsen between Bailey and Oposo. A Straight pokes it away. Brian Straight joined on defense by Travis Hamonic. And those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. John Tavares had it go off his stick. He's backed up by Strome. Put it out in front. Went off the stick of Makarov. With Tavares cruising. Nice play by Tavares. Surrounded, finds Strome. Draws the goaltender down. Makarov getting back into position. As it comes to the blue line to Leddy. And a stick save made by Andrei Makarov. Played as juniors in both the Quebec leagues and the Quebec League, and later on with Saskatoon in the Western League. And now the Islanders get the puck in deep as it's flicked in by Johnny Boychuk. Comes to the side of the net, and that's gobbled up by Makarov. A minute and 29 into this first period. Sabres, at one point this year, lost 14 in a row. They turned to a rookie goaltender tonight, and Makarov comes up big right there off of that first opportunity. And there's another familiar face, Ted Nolan, who coached the Islanders to a surprise playoff appearance in 2007. Remember that poke check by goaltender Wade Dublowitz, which gave them a shootout win in New Jersey. So Thomas Hickey works it around to Lee. He feeds it back to the line to Wisnowski. Clutterbuck in behind with Nelson. Clutterbuck challenged by Cody Hodgson, number 19. Work back around. Clutterbuck grabs it again and finds Lee, but he can't hold on. Andre Meszaros, number 41, on defense for Buffalo. Whips it around to the near side. Sent out by Rasmus Ristolainen, number 55. And Wisnowski's got it in the Islanders zone. Islanders going with the same lineup they did in Columbus, which means Colin McDonald, Tyler Kennedy, healthy scratches. Centering feed to Martin, a stick save Makarov. He'll hold on. And also Michael Grabner, Calvin DeHaan, Matt Donovan, healthy scratches as well. And healthy, the key word there as it pertains to Michael Grabner is, he had an injury and then got sick, and now he's over that. And so Jack Capuano going with the same bunch that he used in Columbus. Face-off will be deep in the Buffalo zone. Cizikas between Bolton and Martin. With Eric Bolton getting a second straight game after a solid performance in Columbus. Cizikas tipped that one wide. Bolton scored a goal before that game was 3 minutes in and had a couple of other chances too. You can make the case that Eric Bolton could have had a hat trick in the game in Columbus. Now Coletta throws one up the middle. Straight protects it away from Ellis. That's Matt Ellis, number 37. And here's Ellis in on the right wing against Straight. Ellis pulls up, whips one that clips the side of the net and is played along the near boards by Bolton. I don't even think Butchie is huffing and puffing. And that's how you know how well conditioned he is. He's just made his way up from the ceremonies downstairs, so perfect timing. The Sabres go offside. I would expect to hear you the slightest bit out of breath, but I don't think that's what I'm going to hear, is it?
No, not at all. I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in, Howie. But
that's being graded against a curve.
I have to tell you, it was a lot of fun down there and seeing all the guys.
Well, it sure looked it. And we'll be anxious to hear firsthand from Eddie Westfall and later Kenny Morrow. 18 will join us in the first intermission and Kenny Morrow in the second. Letty at the blue line plays one across that was flicked away by Giunta. Recovered by Bailey for the Islanders. He takes a hit from Bogosian. Zach Bogosian, one-time #1 pick of the Atlanta Flames. Boychuk's drive and a stick save through traffic. Made by Makarov. That's a good save, and he's made a couple early on in his NHL debut. Nielsen went after Bogosian, but Bogosian peels off. Nielsen goes for a change. Played 3:43 here in the opening period with no score. And the Islanders have had the first 5 shots of this game.
Well, you'd expect them to come out with an awful lot of jump and test the young goaltender.
Hickey throws it in front. Deflection made by Kuhlman, stopped by Makarov. And Foligno plays it as far as the Islander line, turned the other way. Tavares couldn't hold the puck. Now retrieves it, sends Hickey to the line, slapped away from him. And Wisnowski darts back into the Islander zone. Tavares across to Kuhlman, and he tucks it deep into Buffalo ice. Ristolainen back for it. Up the near boards it goes. Chipped to the line and eventually out, but a weak clear there by Marcus Foligno.
Buffalo played very well last night, Howie, against the Chicago Blackhawks, and only the great play of Jonathan Toews allowed the Blackhawks to escape. So the Buffalo team is going to compete.
It's been a very difficult year for them. They're 22-48-8. We mentioned they went through a 14-game losing streak at one point. The question in Buffalo, will they wind up with Connor McDavid, the consensus #1 in this year's draft?
A couple of real good players in that draft. Jack Eichel is considered a terrific prospect. Boston University.
Like Dalpe throws it in behind the Islander net. Dalpe gets it in the corner. Wings one that's stopped up high by Yaroslav Halak. And thrown off the boards by Hamonic. 5.5 gone here in the opening period. Islanders changing on the move. Cody Hodgson. And this puts one behind the Islander net. It's grabbed now by Letty. Nick Letty moving through center. Puts a move on Ellis. Throws one towards the net that Makarov steers away. They say what they want Makarov to improve on is challenging, and there's going to be a penalty here to the Sabres. Boychuk's drive stopped by Makarov. They want him to challenge the shooters a little bit better and get more acquainted with the angles.
Yeah, well, he looks like in watching him play, Howie, that he plays in his crease. He's not out at the top of this crease, so he's going to cause himself some problems with rebounds and deflections.
37 Buffalo minor penalty, hooking.
Just in case you didn't hear that, Howie. Referee making sure that we certainly hear about it. Well, there's the hook right there along the side on Matt Martin. Martin going into play the puck, and Ellis gets the stick up in the midsection, so a good call by the referee. Very loud call. An opportunity really for the Islanders to set the tone with an early goal on their power play.
I don't know. I take it back. You sound like you might be a little bit out of breath. I had you overhyped.
I think so. I think so. Well, it's a long climb up those stairs.
I understand, but you might have been the only one of that whole group that would have attempted to go up the steps rather than wait on the elevator. I'm proud of you. So the Islander Power Play brought to you by New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Judging by the ovation you got, so are the fans. Anders Lee for Tavares. Back to the line now. Leddy for Nielsen. Tavares cuts back, sets up Okposo high in the slot, shoots, he scores! Kyle Okposo, power play goal. Islanders lead it 1-0.
Yeah, Anders Lee was in front, Howie. It looked like sounded like there was a stick. Good passing by the Islanders. Good patience. Again, able to get inside the offensive zone with control, and then had the patience to work around. You can see Kyle Okposo at the top. Anders Lee is right in the middle, but I don't believe he deflects it at all. Just a clean shot. Kyle Okposo settles it down. Yes, it went off of Gionta in the slot area. Gionta gets a piece of it, and then it starts bouncing crazily. Might have been a hit. Another Buffalo Sabre. Bogosian in front, so it could have been a double carry. Doesn't matter. It gives the Islanders the early 1-0 lead, which is really important.
And equally important, the Washington-Ottawa game tonight. We'll keep you apprised of all the developments there. An Islander win and a Washington regulation win would clinch a playoff spot for the Islanders.
Islanders got a little break this afternoon with the Pittsburgh team getting beat by Columbus 5-3 in an afternoon tilt.
Well, it is Okposo's goal, his 17th. Just the third that he scored since coming back from the eye injury. Tavares and Nielsen assist. Power play goal at 6:37. Islanders with an early 1-0 lead. Fantasy Stats for the Game is brought to you by Fantasy Sports Network, the world's first TV network dedicated to fantasy sports. John Tavares now 1 point shy of his career high and 1 point shy of Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, look at this. Kyle Okposo moves up high in the slot, takes a little look. A couple of bounces for him, but they ends up in the back of the net. But John Tavares spots his former right winger in that slot area, feeds him a nice pass, and a good quick release by Kyle Okposo. And a much-needed goal for Kyle. Kyle's a very streaky goal scorer. The Islanders need to get that second and third line going from an offensive standpoint.
Hickey looking for Strome's stick down low. Now Tavares trying to shake loose of Bogosian. Bogosian stays on him, doesn't clear though. It's Hickey for Strome. Nice feed. Another one from Kuhlman to Tavares. Across to Strome. Didn't get a hold on it. It went off Bogosian's skate. Maybe one pass too many.
Yeah, it looked a little bit too fancy, but Tavares had no angle as Makarov was able to get over there in time.
Strome digging on a stick check by Makarov. Well, having no angle never stopped JT before.
Really, can be very creative at times.
Here's Strome again. A latter day 18. And Eddie Westfall joining us in a little bit. The original 18 of the Islanders.
Eddie Westfall had good hands also, as does Ryan Strome. Watch a few of the highlights today.
Nice feed to Tavares, and that went wide. Now Hickey drops it back for Strome. Kuhlman to Hickey. And the Islanders really throwing it around. And Hickey's got to dart back out to the neutral zone.
Tremendous time in the offensive zone for the Islanders and some great opportunities. As you said, Howie, maybe just a hair bit too fancy. Get the puck on this kid.
Johnny Boychuk in deep along the board. Ristolainen steers it to Nazaros. And the puck flicked off the boards by Nick Delorier, number 44 for Buffalo. Now Nielsen to Okposo. Squeezes through a check. Centers. That's batted away. Well, the Islanders keep it in. Boychuk, a very hard pass to Leddy. But he's able to sweep back into the corner.
Looked like Leddy wasn't ready for that, expecting Johnny to shoot it. Doesn't mash up shots very often.
Overskated by Bailey, but backed up by Okposo. Went short side and missed. Now Boychuk. And Bailey. Mazaros all over him. And that puck sent out of play with 10:21 to go in the period.
It's a practice session right now for the Islanders. The Buffalo Sabres are really flat on their feet, but I think it speaks to the urgency of this particular game against the Sabres or whoever else would be in here at this time. Islanders looking to lock up a playoff spot with only 4 games left. Every game becomes more and more important. The longer you wait, the tougher it is to lock down that spot. So this is an important game for the Islanders with only 1 more home game, so they're really taking it to task.
Ottawa has scored first in their game as Mark Stone has picked up his 21st goal of the year. And they're about 6 minutes into that one. 1-0 Ottawa leading Washington.
He's had a terrific year, Mark Stone, in his first year, albeit he's 25 years of age. But he has really come on strong for the Senators.
It is Zadorov, number 51, played it across. Lock looks for Hamonic, who's immediately tied up by Ellis. Ellis with Coletta and Larson. Line for Buffalo. This is Patrick Coletta. Out for Larson. Coletta, who's been challenged by his own team's management to clean up his act. And the reputation of being maybe as dirty a player as there was in the league.
Now puts his team in a tough position with some of the cheap penalties. It's all right to be aggressive and an agitator. We have both of that on the Islander team, but you've got to be smarter than Coletta is at different times.
Played 38 games this year. He hasn't scored a goal.
And to quote Daryl Sutter, is your fourth liners have to do more than just stir up the pot. They've got to be able to contribute offensively and play against the other team's best lines.
Especially in this post-lockout era of the National Hockey League. Larson got a shot on, but was stopped by Halak. Now Ennis throws one down low. It was tipped by Larson. Turning on Nelson. And Brock Nelson wins the puck.
This is the Buffalo Sabres' best line. Larson's been very good as of late.
Gianca back in his own zone. 2 Sabres collide. Mazaros with his goaltender, Makarov, and that forces the net off of its moorings. So we'll step out. 8:23 remain in the first period. Islanders up 1-0. Tonight's Geico hometown hero is United States Army Sergeant Michael James Jordan from Patchogue, New York. Michael served in the Army from 1999 to 2004 with tours to Albania, Kosovo, and Macedonia as part of the QRF squad. So we salute hometown hero Army Sergeant Michael James Jordan. I guess when we start saluting basketball players in this place, you have to start with a guy by the name of Julius Erving.
And then you get to a Jordan.
Well, this Michael Jordan, he's a real hero. Sergeant. And Delorier for Buffalo. Throws one behind the net. Whipped out to the blue line. And the shot by Bogosian hit a stick. Rome tried to chip it out of the zone. Couldn't. Missed behind the net by Wisnowski, and then it's sent right through the crease by Marcus Foligno, whose brother, Nick, had a hat trick this afternoon in Columbus's win over Pittsburgh.
And the Folignos all play the same way. They're all in around the net. They're scrappy players, good skaters, nice touch. Dad was excellent around the net, scored a lot of goals from that same area. His sons play the DNA stayed with him.
Philip Barone, number 84 for Buffalo behind the net. Free agent signee, was originally drafted by the San Jose Sharks.
Played in Kitchener and London. It's Mr. Hunter's team in London. The villain of Pierre Turgeon, who we have in the building.
And Boychuk winds it around. Up comes Nielsen on right wing. Makes his move towards the slot. Keeps the puck. Nielsen feeds it out to Boychuk. Lines up a screen, shoots one that way. Might have gone off the stick of Makarov.
Kyle was in front too, but he was on the left side of the net, and the puck came on the right side of the net. Well, the one thing the Islanders, I think, have to keep in mind is that, shoot the puck. They're at times very dominant in the offensive zone, Howie, but you don't want to get too cute and find the perfect play on each and every time. You got to get that puck towards the net. Shooting creates offense.
6:28 remaining in the first period. 9-4 Islanders in shots. And they lead 1-0 on Kyle Okposo, 17th of the year. Ennis threw it in front. That pinball to Nelson. He's got Clutterbuck with him. Nelson on the move. Now pushes it to the corner. Two Sabres on him. Clutterbuck evens that up. And it's Nelson taking a shove. Sending it back to the blue line. Ryan Straight shot it wide. And it's sent in by Larson. Buffalo will change on the move. A little skirmish in front of the Islander bench. Nothing develops there, so Hamonic fires one up high. And Makarov reached upstairs for it. Andrei Makarov tested on a high riser by Hamonic. 5:43 to go, first period.
Welcome back to Nassau Coliseum. Here in the first period, Islanders with a 1-goal lead over the Buffalo Sabres. Stay tuned for the Ford Intermission Report. It is Decades Night, and the Islanders' first captain, Ed Westfall, is going to be joining Howie and Butch to be talking about all his great memories here at the Coliseum. It's hard to believe it's 43rd season and only one more home game after tonight here at the Coliseum during the regular season. Also, Kate Morrow will join you guys in the second intermission, so fans at home, stick around for the second intermission as well.
Well, you knew Eddie really wanted to be here, because if you can drag 18 off the golf course, you've accomplished something. Sabres ice the puck here. Ottawa now leading Washington 2-0. Midway through the first, Clark MacArthur scored a 5-on-3 power play goal for the Senators.
Well, they can feel it, Howie. There's no doubt about it. They've been on a roll. They've had tremendous goaltending. The coach has done an outstanding job. And they're sniffing the playoffs right now. They know that Pittsburgh is struggling. Detroit is struggling. They realize they have a real opportunity to get into the playoffs.
Well, Boston's at home against Toronto tonight. Ottawa 3 points behind Boston and 5 behind Pittsburgh going in. And at this point, the best thing to do is just enjoy what you're watching and check the standings late next Saturday night. Then we'll know who's playing who and where and when, because there are still so many possibilities going into this final week of the regular season.
Tremendous parity in the National Hockey League, and it just doesn't eliminate a lot of teams early on, so there's still people battling.
Straight gave it away. Delorier plays it across, and a big save made by Halak. Hamonic around, but not out. Mazalos for Foligno. Hamonic trying to work Delorier over behind the net. But it's recovered by Grigorenko. He plays it in behind. Delorier shut off there by Straight. The Islanders might have come out. This Buffalo flurry all started with a straight giveaway.
Exactly what it was. A couple of turnovers by the Islanders in the neutral zone. Bad pass by Travis Hamonic, and then a turnover by Brian Straight. Don't underestimate this team. The Buffalo Sabres, as I mentioned, Howie, they played extremely well against Chicago yesterday.
As the line and shot stopped, and then the rebound poked wide. Buffalo getting their best push in a while. And it's Tavares leading the Islanders out. 3-on-2 developing. The pass to Okposo, closes in, feeds Bailey, shoots. And I don't think that was blocked by Ristolainen. It looked like Makarov got a piece of it.
Yeah, real good reactionary save, how he went from left to right in a hurry and got it with his blocker. Kyle took a little look, gave Makarov an opportunity to set up. Kyle had the opportunity to one-time it or to take a longer look. He chose to take a look.
Now Clutterbuck being worked over a bit by Andre Benoit, number 61. Clutterbuck snaps it to the near side, hustling over is Hickey. Thomas Hickey in deep. He's crossing with Clutterbuck. He stays on the puck. Nelson provides help. And now Lee. Anders Lee works the corner. Sets up Wisnowski for a drive. Big save made. That time Makarov came way out, dealing with a screen.
About 6 bodies in front of Makarov. Good hard work by Nelson and Lee to own the corners and then eventually be able to get it back to Thomas Hickey for the shot. Another good offensive thrust for the Islanders in response to the Buffalo Sabres last little push. Again, owning the corners and working hard, winning those one-on-one battles.
And Benoit for Buffalo. Up ahead to Cody Hodgson, number 19, with 2.5 to go in the period. And out comes Cizikas. 4 Sabres spread abreast. Cizikas goes to the corner. Can't connect with Bolton. And it's pushed ahead. On comes Giunta. Pulls up and a shoot. Save made by Halak. And Martin sends Cizikas out.
Great play by Giunta as he created time and space for himself. How he waited for the whole crowd to clear, for the cavalry to clear, and set up Innes with a tremendous opportunity. What a big save for Halak.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the first period.
Not enough structure for the coaches as far as the Islanders are concerned. Just way too wide open. Too many good offensive opportunities for the Buffalo Sabres.
Pizarro's played it to the corner. Bogosian works it around to the right wing to Ennis with 1.5 minutes remaining in the period. 59 is Tim Schaller. Hemmed in by Straight. And Nielsen up to the Buffalo line. Makarov turns that away. Hard drive by Oposo, stopped by Makarov. And this kid's actually looked very good here in the first period.
He has had a fair number of shots, 13 up to this point in time. Number of shots blocked at him. He's had some obviously experience in the American Hockey League.
We're into the final minute of the first period. And by the way, one familiar face not on the ice tonight, which probably should have told you about much earlier. Matt Molson, who is sick, did not play last night and is scratched again tonight.
You mentioned Matty Molson, only 13 goals, I believe, for the entire season.
Well, we've been wondering where's number 26 in white. Probably watching on TV.
Back home in Buffalo.
Wisnowski banks one to Hickey with 25 to go in the period. Not to take anything away from all the goals Matt Molson scored with the Islanders, but John Tavares can really put some goals on a line mate's stick.
He's a pretty skilled individual and creates an awful lot of opportunities for his line mates. It makes everybody better around him.
Final 5 to the period, and Halak's got to reach up to snag that drive by Tyson Stucken.
One-timer from almost right with his butt up against the boards, and Halak has an opportunity to watch that. Gets it in the trap. We're able to control that rebound, but the Islanders continue to be a little sloppy in their own zone. That's one of the areas that they'll talk about in between periods, is to be a little bit sharper, a little stronger on the puck. They discipline, how we talk about the discipline needed in your game. That means controlling that neutral zone. You get up the ice, you don't have a good play, you bounce it off the boards or you get it in deep. The Islanders have been guilty of turning it over in the neutral zone, and because of that, they're spending a lot more time in their own zone than they really would want to.
So 2.6 seconds on the clock. One face-off here to end this first period. And it's Nelson just basically going down to his knees as it sounded like it took longer than 2.6 seconds for that.
Longest 2.6 seconds I've ever waited on. But you're right, Brock Nelson got down really low and made sure that that puck just didn't move. You didn't have to win the face-off. You just couldn't afford to lose it.
All right, 18's going to join us in just a couple of minutes on our Ford Intermission Report. It's the Islanders 1, the Buffalo Sabres nothing. Kyle Oposo with a power play goal, the only goal of the period. And we'll also have highlights of the first period. You don't mind my saying so? For me, the highlights coming up right now as that man visits with us. Eddie Westfall, my guest in the Ford Intermission Report, coming right up. New York Islanders hockey is presented to you by the pros at your Tri-State GMC dealers. Find yours at tristategmc.com. Our trivia question tonight is brought to you by Cadillac. Now, expansion started in the NHL in the 1967-68 season. So who was the first expansion team player to win the Art Ross Trophy? In other words, a player not on the original 6 of New York, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Montreal, or Toronto.
Yeah,
Speaking of Montreal, Butchie, you see where Elmer Locke passed away? 97 years old.
Man,
He
yeah.
was born, I believe it was 50 days after the National Hockey League itself was formed in 1917, and Elmer Locke was the first ever winner
Great player.
of the Art Ross Trophy.
Great player for those great Montreal teams.
He won 3 cups, and in those days, you didn't even get rings, so he had one made up himself. It's true. Travis Hamonic for the Islanders. Works the puck into the corner. The Islanders going with the Nielsen, Bailey, Oposo line to start. And Tyler Ennis for Buffalo starts ahead.
I had a conversation with Franz Nielsen this morning just about getting some more offense with his line. He said, absolutely, I agree with you 100%. We need to do more than just be a good checking line. We've got to get the puck in the back of the net.
But I know Nielsen's been banged up, but he seems to have more jump tonight than he's had in any recent game. Do you agree?
Yeah, he says his legs seem to be a little bit better. You know, we've been kidding him about the maintenance days, but it's been good for him to get some rest and reestablish his game, because he is such an important element to the Islanders. I mean, he's a penalty killer. He plays on the power play. He's so responsible defensively, and he certainly can score goals and set up plays. I mean, he has scored 20 goals last year. He's going to have to go to the whip if he's going to get to 20 this year. Needs a big night, 3 in one night. But he has been, as you say, Howie, a little bit banged up, and it's good to see him back on his toes again.
From the draw, Mazzaros fails to hold the puck. The Islander blue line. And now Tavares brings it in with a drop to Strome. He shoots, glove save made by Makarov. He practically reached back into the net to grab that puck. That seemed like it was ticketed on that glove side.
It looked like Ryan Strome thought that was going in. Nice drop pass. Watch between the legs. And Ryan Strome drives towards it, gets his head up. Doesn't get it quite up to the top of the corner, but a real nice shot by Ryan Strome. Good quick release, but a terrific save by the goaltender, Makarov. He did get a little more aggressive, so perhaps he's working on his game.
From the draw, Nick Leddy fires one in behind the net. Lee back for Leddy at the blue line now. By the way, Ottawa's lead now 3-0 over Washington at the end of one period. Drive by Leddy, change direction. And the way things look early, the Islanders better just take care of their own business tonight.
Well, you know, in real life, Howie, you want Ottawa to beat the Washington Capitals because you want to win tonight. You're back in second place again, and that's really where you want to end up.
That's the big thing, that home ice advantage in the first round. Of course, right now the initial hurdle is just to secure that playoff spot. And that is possible with an Islander win and a Washington regulation win.
Well, the Islanders only have to win tonight, and then that forces the Senators to go 4-1 in their last 5 games, including tonight's game. So the onus would be on the Senators. They're going to find a way to upend the Islanders and keeping them out of the home ice. They would have to do that.
Nelson behind the net against Schaller. And Nelson gets it again. We're 2:40 into the second period. Islanders up 1-0. Kyle Oposo with a first period goal.
Schaller, a former Providence player, home of Lou Lamoriello. Spent 4 years in college there, Howie.
It's Lou Lamoriello, A&M, Providence. Athletic director there, the hockey coach. Lou was a baseball coach, too. He actually coached Bobby Valentine in the Cape Cod League.
He's just a sports guy. Done a wonderful job in New Jersey. He did a pretty good job as a coach. Perhaps he'll think about staying behind the bench as the coach. I mean, his team played a whole lot better once he took over.
Well, he could save some money by not hiring a coach, right? Wisniewski put it in front, pushed wide by Oposo.
Great play by Vizik, buying some time. Waited till Kyle Oposo drove into the middle of the ice.
Now Bailey a shot. Makarov looks behind him, even though he has the puck protected against the crest.
Now, this line has played very well. It's been the best offense that we've seen from this line of Bailey and Nielsen. Kyle Oposo. Kyle Oposo got good jump tonight. He didn't have a lot of jump the other night, I thought, but tonight real good. And you look at the standings, and Yeah, I mean, it's just very, very tight when you look at the 96, 96, Washington, Isles, and Pittsburgh at 95. Even the Boston Bruins have really taken to the challenge. A lot of people counted them out. They haven't made it yet, but they certainly give themselves an opportunity to get into the playoffs.
And, you know, give Gerard Gallant some credit in Florida, too, because his team has hung in. They're, in all likelihood, not going to make it. But I know that a lot of people considered Florida nothing more than an afterthought at the beginning of the year, but they've done a nice job in hanging in, and
they really
have
have
some promise for the years ahead.
I mean, if you're Dale Talon, you've got to be really happy with the way that team has played, the way his kids have gotten better and better. His first-round pick, Ekblad, has played amazing.
Wisnowski across to Hickey. Strome, Kuhlman, Tavares, the Islander forwards here. And Wisnowski races back into the New York zone. Laurier chases him. Tavares being hounded by Grigorenko. And now Tavares off a nice feed from Kuhlman. Darts in, drops it back towards Strome. Well, the Sabres had a hold of Kuhlman's jersey. He's tugging at him while Tavares made his move to the net. So here is Kuhlman closing in. His shot went off the stick of Bogosian. Strome, the Kuhlman. How Strome got that to Kuhlman right alongside the net.
Well, he's got the quick hands. And obviously the vision and the hockey sense to be able to make those plays. A lot of people can't.
He was very well covered by a pair of Sabres, yet still made a nice pass.
Start calling him Houdini.
Laurier rolls one to the left of Halak, who's not been as busy as Makarov.
Not complaining either.
Ooh, shots 15-8 Islanders. Nielsen pulls back, shoots one. That's blockered aside by Makarov. Bailey tried to connect with Nielsen. Takes a shove from Mizaros. Oh, Oposo. Nice feed. Save Makarov on Bailey. And there's no further play. And this kid's look awfully good for the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, he's made some real nice saves, been able to follow the puck right into the body. Again, good hard work by the Islanders on the forecheck. Kyle Oposo protecting the puck, and then the quick pass to Bailey as he drives towards the net. Islanders are getting to the inside in today's game. They're not playing on the outside. They're driving to the net. They're playing in the dirty areas, and they've got their feet moving. They're a handful when they get that puck down low with the Buffalo Sabres.
The face-off control by Buffalo. Zadorov, number 51, lugs it into the center ice area. Off now to Ellis. And he winds it in towards the near boards. Cizikas was turned around and dumped by Coletta. Martin gets a step on Benoit. Takes a bump. A combination of Ellis and Benoit.
Bolton back in the lineup tonight. Played such a strong game the other night in Columbus that the coaching staff wanted to give him another game. I mean, not only did he score a goal, but I thought he played really well. Talked to him this morning also, Howie, and said, hey, you could have scored three. He says, yeah, I know. I said, how did you feel? Because you haven't played in a long time. He said, actually, he said the first period was the toughest period. He said, I thought, oh my goodness, what am I doing out here? That's when he got his goal. He said he felt better as the game went on. But this is a guy that works hard in practice, but it's tough when you haven't played. You don't have that game shape.
Boychuk tries a long one that's blocked before it even comes close to Makarov. Yeah, Bolton's goal was at the 2:54 mark of the first period. Pretty good for a guy who wasn't comfortable yet.
And pretty good for a guy to have the wherewithal to stop, give himself that opportunity. How if you haven't played for a while, you can be a little lazy out there and not really have that rhythm. But Bolton did not do that. He stopped, chipped it in.
Gionta throws it towards the net. Kuhlman knocks Larson down. And Leddy pushes it up the boards, back into center.
Johan Larsson, he has a junior world gold medal in his pocket, played with Finland, with Sweden, Howie. So, pretty big highlight for him in his career to win a gold medal.
The Women's World Championships were underway earlier today. Butterbuck from a deep angle put it in front. I didn't see how it ended up. The U.S. was leading Canada 7-5 late. I think that's how it ended.
It'll come down to those two in the finals again.
I just thought I'd throw that one out.
I know that was a dig. I know doggone well, and this might remind you who the defending champions are.
I understand.
Oh, that one went off the post on a spinorama by Anders Lee. But you're right. It'll come down to those two teams. They're the powerhouses in women's hockey.
Delorier working against Clutterbuck. Delorier takes Hamonic down.
Delorier is the leading hitter for the Buffalo Sabres.
Grigorenko a drive, and that's scooped up by the glove of Yaroslav Halak. And it was a U.S. 7-5 final in the gold medal game. Tonight's episode of Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Twice the Buffalo Sabres have had the first overall pick before they ever played a game. In their first year was the great Gilbert Perreault, and then the future Islander Pierre Turgeon, who of course was here tonight and one of the honorees. And will Ted Nolan and his team have first overall pick this summer? That's a strong possibility.
Of course, the draft is weighted a little bit different than when Gilbert Perreault was drafted #1 overall, as well as Turgeon.
That was just a coin flip, or I think it was the spin of a wheel, if I remember right, as Mazaros throws it wide. You mentioned Dale Talon recently. He's the GM of the Florida Panthers. Nielsen's drive goes wide. Well, Talon was the second pick that year by the Vancouver Canucks, the other expansion team in 1970. And today's the anniversary of the day that the Islanders traded for Pierre Turgeon. And there's a save by Makarov.
Another good opportunity for Josh Bailey. So the Franz Nielsen line has been on their toes. It's almost like they had a little meeting together and said, hey guys, we have to go better, because they have really skated extremely well. They've been all over the puck. They've been strong along the boards. They've had at least a half a dozen pretty good opportunities to score goals. And that's what the Islanders need from them, and that's what they expect from them, is to give them that kind of a performance.
I should say this is the 20th anniversary of when the Islanders traded, not traded for, but finally traded Pierre Turgeon to Montreal. Yeah, that ended well. Kirk Muller was a real fan favorite here.
Not so much.
There's Kuhlman trying to get a return feed in the slot. Meantime, he powers his way to the corner. Well, Matthew Schneider worked out fine. Kuhlman.
Yeah, he played very well.
And Makarov will hold on here. And Makarov wasn't even born. Well, let's see. He was born during the Islanders-Washington playoff series. Here's Franz Nielsen again.
And a little bit of pain. Not sure exactly what happened. Let's hope that it's just temporary, because, I mean, that line has been skating so well. That line will not be as efficient without Franz Nielsen at his best. Some nice chemistry developing, though, with the Tavares, Ryan, Stolman, Kuhlman line. There's a lot of give and go and driving towards the net. This is as good as the Islanders really have attacked the net in quite a while. They played a nice game against the Red Wings, but they've been more committed to getting to the inside in this game.
Ennis brings it in with a rink-wide feed for Giunta. Ennis plays it back to the blue line. Bogosian steers it towards this side.
Now you have to wonder how Bogosian feels. He's with a pretty good hockey team in Winnipeg, and then comes to a team that's got no chance to make the playoffs.
It was the trade that also brought Evander Kane, the injured Evander Kane, to Buffalo.
Disgruntled Evander Kane.
Yeah. There's Clutterbuck trying to get through, cannot.
Everybody wants to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Ali, and when you're in a team you've been battling with all year and you've got an opportunity and then you're pushed out suddenly, not a fun time.
Cizikas tried a shot that was blocked. Boychek's missed. So now it's 3-on-1 developing, making 3-on-2. The feed to the slot to Grigorenko knocked aside, and the Islanders may have the odd numbers going the other way. Veznovsky holds up, hits the trailer. It's Bolton. His shot deflects, I believe, off of his own man, and it shook up Matt Morton.
Matty looked like he took it right off the ankle, just the way he's hobbling right now. That was a 3-on-1 the Sabres had, and then a 4-on-3 the Islanders had going in the other direction.
Strome hurls one rink wide to Tavares. John Tavares against Grigorenko, pulls back. 3 Sabres surround JT. He connected with Strome. He can't do the same with Kuhlman. And so Delp for Buffalo across to Delorier. And he flings one at Halak. Down to 9:58 remaining in the second period. Kenny Morrow will join us in between periods 2 and 3. Hickey plays one ahead. That went off the stick of Hodgson.
A little sloppy in the neutral zone by both teams. Trying to make plays is always difficult when you don't have your feet moving.
Now Bailey throws one down low. That didn't get there.
Frans Nielsen not on the ice.
Puck comes towards the front of the net. And Mazzaro's back of the blue line now.
But Josh Bailey, I believe, is playing center.
Well, we mentioned that Bailey has been banged up recently, and you talked about those maintenance days that he's been given, but we'll see if he's able to shake off whatever it is that's ailing him and miss not much more than this one shift. Halak didn't get that as far away from the oncoming Sabre as he wanted. That was Ellis. And so the Sabres keep the puck with Strachan away from Bailey, throwing one to the net. Halak stopped that, and he had company in front. Ellis again. Out at the line, Bogosian's drive stopped by Halak. Good save by Yarrow.
Yeah, I was able to track that one all the way and then just laid that right flipper down. There's a penalty on Clutterbuck, and that's going to give the Sabres an opportunity on the power play, Howie. And they've been pretty good on the power play in the last 10 games.
Looks like he hooked Strachan. Buffalo power play.
Saturday night at the Nassau Coliseum, and the Islanders lead the Sabres 1-0. And a lot of action going on in this particular game. First, it's the Buffalo Sabres with a 3-on-1 after a crazy bounce. That's Gianta, but Wisnowski plays it absolutely perfect as he gets himself in great position. Then he creates a little offense for Bolton. Puck hops on Bolton. Couldn't get the shot through because it was blocked by Matty Martin. And now a penalty on Clutterbuck as he hooks Strachan. Power play, as I mentioned, for the Sabres has been pretty good. 9 of their last 33 over the last 10 games.
Well, the Islanders could really use Frans Nielsen on this penalty kill, but he went to the Islander room during the break. Islanders have killed 32 of the last 33 power plays by the opposition. And the Sabres, even though they're dead last in the league in both power play and penalty killing, well, they've connected 6 times in their last 20, and for them, that's pretty significant improvement.
For anybody, it's not bad.
Well, they go to work down low here with Larson feeding the blue line. Ennis lets go a drive, and that one went right off the skate of Boychuk. He had Matt Martin hobbling, Nielsen in the room, and now Boychuk took one on the leg. Gianta off the inboards. Larson to the corner. Sent right back through the crease all the way to Gianta.
Good job by Johnny Boychuk tying up Larson in front of the net on that cross-ice pass.
Ristolainen to Gianta. Larson to Ennis. Ristolainen returns it. Tyler Ennis to Ristolainen with room. Now to Gianta. Let's go a drive and a save by Halak. And it ricochets out of play. 46 seconds main to the power play for Buffalo.
Well set up by the Buffalo Sabres. Foligno in front of that net. Not sure if it hits Halak. Take a look. Look at Halak looking. That hit Foligno, so that puck could go right on the melon. Watch Foligno as he sees it. He just ducks it in the last possible second. That one had to smart. Those helmets, they give you some protection, but on those type of slap shots, that can hurt. Thank goodness he's all right, but I'm not sure why that's an offensive opportunity. I mean, I understand you keep the puck in if it's an offensive opportunity, but I'm not sure I agree that taking one off the head, it's not quite soccer, is an offensive opportunity.
Well, the Islanders get rid of it, and that helps.
They win that face-off, Holly. That's always critical on the PK.
Grigorenko down the boards with a drop pass. Set across from Bogosian. Mazzaros now behind the net to Grigorenko. All the way to Bogosian. Good pass. Tees it up. But threw one behind Verone. Grigorenko. Mazzaros. One-timer Bogosian. Grabbed right at the crest by Halak.
Nobody in front on that shot. Bogosian has a real hard, heavy shot. Halak sees it all the way and gets himself into position. Makes the good save. The Islanders willing to give that outside shot as they go around the horn. There's Bogosian, number 47, lets the shot go. But nobody really in position to screen or get any kind of a deflection. The Islanders will give you that all day and all night. As long as there's no one in front of the net to bother Halak, he's going to make those saves. Big face-off now, Howie, with just 9 seconds left.
That shot was Buffalo's first on the power play, and doesn't look like they'll get any more if that puck comes out. It doesn't, but now it does, and that takes care of the penalty. So Clutterbuck out of the box. One shot for the Sabres. 6:23 to go, second period. 1-0 Islanders. Up comes Strome with Clutterbuck charging to the net. The trailer Kuhlman drives one wide.
Oh, and he had a good look and a good rip at it. Ryan Strome fed him the perfect pass. Kuhlman really lined that one up, going for high glove and zinged it over the net. Great opportunity.
Ristolainen to Larson on right wing into the Islanders zone. Slips one to Gionta, curls away from checking, put it in front. Bailey was there. Wisnowski works it up the right side, and on comes Bailey with Tavares. Pass to John. Pulls back. Tried to feed the slot. That was picked off by Larson, who hurls one ahead. Ennis couldn't get it across to Bogosian. And now Oposo has the only goal in this game. Steers it the other way. Hickey couldn't get it deep, but Wisnowski's got the play backed up. Shots 19-15 Islanders with 5:21 to go in the second. Anders Lee working against Benoit. Lee trying to slip away. Feeds Tavares in close quarters. Lee shot up high, and that went off the arm of Makarov.
A good attempt by Lee on a tough angle.
Tavares threw one to Oposo's stick that was deflected wide. Now it's Lee, watched by Coletta. Winding it this way. Boychuk comes down to get it. And Martin, good to see him back after taking a shot off the leg. For Leddy, wrist shot blocked inadvertently by Nelson of the Islanders.
Islanders continue to pressure. They keep throwing pucks at the net. One of them's going to go in.
Not that one.
Deflected by Nelson, though.
So 4:33 remaining, second period, still 1-0 New York. Download MSG Go, the only app that lets you watch MSG Network's coverage of live Red Bulls and Knicks games anywhere. Download now at the App Store or Google Play. MSG Go is currently available to Optimum subscribers. So I've got 4:33 remaining. Frans Nielsen back on the bench. That's huge.
Absolutely. Huge addition as Jack Capuano had to start shuffling his lines, Howie. He likes to rotate 4 lines, so that was pretty tough to do with one of the players missing, one of the key players missing.
Again, Kenny Morrow will join us in our Chevrolet second intermission report. Kenny and all the other Islanders honored tonight were wearing the white jerseys on the home ice, which used to be the norm in the NHL. How is it that the Islanders did not wear the whites at home this year in this final season at the Coliseum? I don't get that. Bogosian in the corner. I mean, I know I'm just a uniform dork, but Bogosian played it down low. That's batted away, and here comes Tavares. He pulls up, and surrounded by 3 Sabres, the Islanders were changing. That was anything but crisp.
Bogosian had a good angle on Tavares on that attempt.
Foligno tried to play it to the net. Hamonic got to it.
Next goal becomes more and more important. Howie.
Penalty, I believe, to the Islanders here.
A high stick.
3:27 remaining here in the second period, and Brian Straight's going to go to the box.
Delorier was
37 New York.
There's the high stick right there. Oh my goodness, this is 4 minutes. He clips him on the nose. I still haven't figured that one out, Howie. I've got to ask the referees, what's the difference between just a high stick that gives you 2 and a high stick that gives you 4? Because as you mentioned before, it's not about whether you draw blood or not. It's whether there's an injury. I mean, now, Delorier broke his nose. Okay, I get that. That's an injury. but this is a high stick, but we've seen high sticks that are worse than that and get 2 minutes, so I'm not sure I understand. I gotta figure that one all out.
Well, it's the second power play for Buffalo. They had one shot on their first. Ennis brings it down the boards to Larson. Gianta back at the blue line. Foligno and Ristolainen the rest of the power play. Ristolainen shot blocked.
Ristolainen has a very, very good shot.
Gianta gets it from Larson. Ennis along the blue line to Gianta. Hamonic gets a stick on it, but it's sent back to Ennis with room. Thought about a shot. Now moves ahead. Ristolainen shoots. Blocked nicely by Hickey. Trying to get to the puck. It's at his skates. Stays loose and is finally pitched to the corner.
Yeah, there should have been a penalty there too, how he was cross-checked while he was playing the puck, and the referees missed it.
So 3:03 remaining on a double minor to Brian Straight. Islanders up 1-0. And are they ever fortunate that Frans Nielsen is back? He's on the ice now during the PK.
Yeah, they have such great chemistry with Kuhlman on the penalty kill. Ennis is the quarterback. Want to try and keep the puck away from him.
Well, he turned it over and Nielsen cleared.
Now he's been out for a minute and 40 seconds. He'll get a chance to change.
Now Mazzaros. Head to Hodgson. Cutting back is Verone. As the crowd into a chant of defense. 2:20 to go. Double minor. Nothing happens before the halfway mark. Then should Buffalo score during the last 2 minutes, that wipes out the remainder of the power play time. Simply 2 consecutive minor penalties. Nice feed out to the blue line. The drive by Bogosian is swallowed up. Juggled and held by Halak. And we're under the 2-minute mark now. 1:59 to go in the second part of the double minor.
Yeah, there was. Now you can see where he's cut. He got hit right on the lower lip. And as I said, it's not necessarily whether you get cut on the penalty or not. It's whether you get served up injury. 3 Islanders in the corner along with 3 Sabres last time in the corner. And nobody in front of the net to harass Halak on that Bogosian shot.
From the draw, Hamonic fires one hard into the corner. Pack of players there. Nobody controlling until it's sent to the blue line to Ennis. Across to Ristolainen. He's forced to the corner by Casey Cizikas. 1:10 to go in the period. 33 seconds more to the penalty, which will carry over to the third. But here's Cizikas, short-handed shooting, and a save made.
Oh, real good shot by Casey Cizikas, shooting back across the defenseman, using him as a screen, and only a quick right leg move by Makarov prevented that puck from going in, and you wouldn't have blamed him on it. It was a good shot. It was a good attempt.
Down to 43 seconds remaining in the period. Larson, check by Leddy. And then Boychuk was dumped. Or was that? Yeah, it was Boychuk. And now here comes Kuhlman with Leddy. Kuhlman leaning. Looks for Leddy. Now he's got to scamper back. 22 seconds to go in the period. And Ristolainen forced deep into his own zone. Fires one up ahead. This should be icing, and it is.
Yeah, so terrific job, and the fans are on their feet, and a lot of appreciation for the Islanders, who at this point in time, Holly, have done a magnificent job on this power play. I mean, they just haven't allowed the Buffalo Sabres to get set up with for any period of time. They put pressure on a neutral zone. They've been able to get off ice with a couple of opportunities. Just good hard work by the Islanders on the penalty kill. And that's been the biggest change over the last 20-25 games.
From the draw, Nelson, lifts it over the net. Final 7 seconds of the period. And the Islanders will still have some work to do on the PK when the third period begins. 33 seconds remain on the second of the double minors against Brian Straight. But Buffalo with 3:27 of that power play time, managing only 2 shots. Sabres outshot the Islanders 9-8 in what was a scoreless second period. So we invite you to stay tuned for the second intermission report presented by Chevrolet. Butchie will talk with his old teammate, Kenny Morrow.
Yeah, old is the operative word there.
Watch it. I think he can bring out some numbers that would refute your suggestion. And we'll also take you downtown for a visit with the boys at Hockey Night Live. So, a Kyle Okposo goal in the first. Nothing more to this point. At the end of 2, it's 1-0 Islanders. Kenny Morrow joins us along the way right after this. Tavares is in the running this year, a point behind Crosby, and no player from an original 16 has won the Art Ross Trophy since then. So remember, 33 seconds of power play time for the Sabres to begin this third period. And the bouncing puck pitched to the corner, then Boychuk fires it hard around, kept alive by Ennis. Tyler Ennis across to Bogosian, back to Ennis, thought about a shot, now steps up around the net. Halak gets over, the pass to Bogosian, and he clipped the side of the net with that. The Islanders clear, and out of the box is straight. So the Islanders have killed the double minor, and now they can take a deep breath and get back to work on trying to expand this 1-0 lead.
Real nice effort too by Kuhlman to battle for that puck, eventually control it and get it out.
Grigorenko went behind the net, then looked to center, comes back to the line. Bogosian's shot changed direction. And that was slammed towards the net by Daup, but Halak was ready for that. Altogether, Buffalo registered 3 shots during their 4-minute power play. Tavares trying to protect it against a little tug there from Grigorenko.
The PK was a terrific job by the Islanders.
Strome to Leddy, and that drive by Wisnowski goes awry.
Makarov was able to get a pad on that, had a good look at it though.
Back out, Wisnowski denied. Great save by Makarov. He didn't even realize he had stopped it.
Yeah, Makarov was very, very aggressive. That puck came all the way over to Wisnowski. Big shave, even a bigger, big shot, but a bigger save. And the kid's been good. How he's been tested, a lot of different opportunities. The aggressive move by Makarov. Makarov or Makarov? I mean, they both were Russians. Remember the Makarov was the good Russian? Yeah. And they spelled it the same way. Well, just where you pronounce it. But
Sergei originally Makarov. Wisnowski's drive blocked. Then corrected people to say, no, it's Makarov.
Well, now you've corrected me, and that's okay, too.
Well, Sergei did. I'm just the messenger. Nelson in the corner. Out to Hickey. Wisnowski, one-timer, and that missed the net. Makarov was peering for it through a screen.
Stocking, I believe, got hit with an earlier shot. He going off rather slowly.
Oh, Ristolainen back in the Buffalo zone. 2:20 gone in the third. That's her 23-18 Islanders. The first period power play goal by Kyle Okposo has been it.
The Islanders have missed an awful lot of opportunities with either blocked shots or missed the net just straight out.
That's driven in. Waiting for it is Leddy in the corner. He spins it all the way around. Mazzaros back to play it in center. Now Ristolainen with Buffalo changing made a pass that Ellis couldn't see, and so Cizikas follows a save by Makarov.
He just fought that one off, almost like a catcher in baseball. Couldn't get the handle on it, but fought it off.
Leddy can't get it deep, and Coletta plays it away from Matt Martin. And Buffalo changing on the move. And now the Islanders complete theirs. Islanders have Nelson, Lee, and Clutterbuck up front. Lee back checking, missed it, and the drive from the blue line changes direction.
A couple different people gave it a whack as they headed towards the net.
Anders Lee trying to muscle it out, couldn't. But Hamonic connects with Nelson. This play by Nelson feeds Bailey, throws it right through the slot. Clutterbuck was in the neighborhood.
Brock Nelson tried to find the handle for the longest time.
Good play by Bailey. He closes in, hits the trailer. Hamonic, he shoots. Knocked aside, rebound. Bailey off the goaltender. Where's the puck? Doesn't matter now. The whistle's blown. An early whistle. And the crowd doesn't appreciate it.
Tries they made, the Islanders haven't been able to find the back of the net. I mean, all kinds of time. Nice play by Josh Bailey as he spats Travis Hammond coming wide open in the slot area. There's the first shot, couple of whacks at it. Makarov is down, and that puck was underneath him, and I can see why the referee blew the whistle as he couldn't see the puck anymore, and the goaltender had it for an instant. But all the guys got pushed off to the side. You got to fight harder to stay in front of that net. You see all the Islanders off to the side, Howie. You got to battle a little harder in that dirty area to maintain your position.
From the draw, Thomas Hickey scoots around the net and gets knocked down. There'll be a penalty, and it's not appreciated by Tyson Strachan, who's going to go, but the Islanders will have a power play.
Thomas Hickey puts a pretty good move on him, much like a forward would on that defenseman earlier on. Got Strachan off balance just a little bit. Thomas Hickey loses it just for a second. Yeah, that's not a great call. I can understand Strachan a little upset, but anything around the foot area is going to get you to the penalty box. Now the Islanders have a terrific opportunity to get that 2-goal lead, which will be huge.
Well, their first power play produced not only the only goal, it came on their only shot of the power play. Strachan off for tripping at 4:07, and this Islanders power play is brought to you by New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Tavares in with Nielsen, Lee, Oposo, and Leddy. Leddy finds Oposo up high. Now to Nielsen in front, miss, comes back to Leddy, fires, blocked, Leddy keeps it. Now to Tavares. Doesn't get much on that, nor can Leddy maintain possession in the Buffalo zone, so the Islanders have to retreat.
Well, that was good pressure by Benoit, not to give Tavares any time to make a better play.
Nielsen brings it in. Goes wide to the boards. Back now to the point to Wisnowski. Tavares moving to the corner. Tavares waiting. Lifts one back to Wisnowski. Now to Nielsen. Franz Nielsen to Wisnowski. Walks the line and finds Oposo. Back to Wisnowski. Fires. That's blocked by Coletta. Comes back to Oposo. 48 to the power play. Wisnowski to Tavares. Now for Oposo. Closing in. Drags a man down. Put it out in front. Missed. And it's Makarov to get it as far as the line. Tavares fires. Missed the net. Big Karam. Sabres clear. Half-minute remains to the power play.
A lot of shots, or some shots, Howie, from the outside. Islanders need to get a little bit more going on the inside on that power play.
Well, the Islanders have changed now. Nelson, Strome, Boychuk, Bailey, and Wisnowski. This is Boychuk. Now for Nelson, but he missed it. And it's cleared all the way out, and that's going to take care of the power play. Islanders had just one shot. And here comes Strachan.
Jack Capuano will not be happy with that power play. Talks all the time about the ability to, or the necessity to get shots at the net.
Bailey put it through the crease. Wisnowski works it towards the corner. Played out by Bogosian, at least from that area. And played out of the zone altogether by Ristolainen before the Islanders dump it right back in. 27-18, Islanders in shots. 13:23 remaining, third period. Ottawa leading Washington 3-1 in the third period in Ottawa. Dowd lost it at the line. And Martin works it behind the Buffalo net. Emerging from the pack there was Zadorov. Martin effective on the back check there against Larson. Both teams changing. So Brian Straight plays a backhander deep into the Buffalo zone. Zadorov hassled by Tavares. Now Hamonic throws one to the net, juggled by Makarov. Islanders keep it. Strome for Tavares. Turns and shoots, and a stick save made by Makarov as Tavares was allowed to come out from behind.
Playground goal attempt.
Icing waved off. Coletta won the race.
Makarov has been good. He took away the low part of the net. Tavares needed another half a step to maybe clear that far pad.
Schaller for Buffalo with a pair of Islanders on him. Finds Ellis. And a work away from Kuhlman. At Ellis. Showing some strength here against Kuhlman, who's with him every step of the way.
Great one-on-one battle between the two of them, Kuhlman and Ellis.
Foligno throws it back. Meszaros moves up. Now to Ellis. Put it out in front. It's poked wide. And recovered by Strome for the Islanders. He launches one up the left wing. Tavares going after it with Ristolainen, who got there first. Ristolainen went down. Tavares has the puck. Put it out in front. Doesn't connect with a teammate, and Meszaros works it back into center. 11:27 remaining in the third. Foligno bumped by Oposo. Kyle brings it in. Waiting for help now. Shoots one well wide of the mark. Boychuk down the boards. Doesn't get it deep, but Leddy has it back in center, drifting into his own zone.
Islanders staying aggressive on the forecheck. Fence not backing off. Continue to pinch when they get a good opportunity.
Now Nielsen leaves it go for Bailey. Fed the slot. Bailey was knocked down in the aftermath. And it is for Buffalo. Cross on right wing to Delorier. Islanders about shot the Sabres 8-2 here in the third. Nelson challenging. Poke check by Makarov. Lee trying to keep it alive.
Nelson did an excellent job of avoiding the goaltender as he came out to challenge for that puck. Brock Nelson showing some awful good speed.
Bogosian's pass off an errant stick, and Nelson scores! Oh, do the Islanders get a break? And they take a 2-0 lead.
You're exactly right, Howie. As Buffalo Sabres had control of the puck, it was an errant stick. It was left on the ice right in the slot area, and the Islanders were able to take advantage. Brock Nelson's going to get the opportunity. It was Bogosian who's going to pass the puck, and he's in the corner. You can see the control. Watso back in this area here, number 47. There's the pass off the stick, and the Islanders turn it up in a hurry. Brock Nelson goes 5-hole. Finally gets one past Makarov as he's not able to get to the top of the crease. Could have been maybe a little more aggressive. He's backing up a little bit, and it goes 5-hole. But that's a break for the Islanders. They haven't had a lot of luck, in the last 20 games, Howie. And that's the first real good break for them, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
And congratulations to Brock Nelson on a 20-goal season.
Absolutely. Big goal for him, and be able to drop his shoulders, relax a little bit, get more and more confident in his own game.
10:17 to go in the third. It's 2-0 New York now. A drive by Coletta misses the short side.
Big shift for the Islanders now. Just establish that 2-goal lead. Got to be strong. Normally they'd have the Casey Cizikas line out. Jack Capuano likes to do that an awful lot.
Here he's got the Tavares line out. That's with Strome and Kuhlman.
Went for offense, looking for maybe a quick another strike.
Tavares crisscrosses with Kuhlman. Tavares against Benoit. Now Coletta joins in. A drop to Oposo. He shoots up high off the arm of Makarov. And out of play. 9:39 remaining here in the third. Brock Nelson, number 20. 2-0 New York. The Islanders' upcoming schedule is brought to you by Lexus. Well, there are only 3 to go after this one, and there's the remainder of the season. In Philadelphia Tuesday. How big is that one looking on Friday? In Pittsburgh against the Penguins. And then the final regular season game in the history of the Islanders at the Nassau Coliseum a week from tonight. There's your score in Ottawa. Also, Toronto and Boston are tied 1-1. And Detroit leads Minnesota 2-1. Now, they're in the third period in Minnesota. They're about to begin the third period in Boston. Hamanek's shot stopped. Whistle, though. There's going to be a penalty here.
Franz Nielsen for interference, and he very seldom sees the penalty box. Slightly more than I ever did in my career, but Franz Nielsen's not a lazy hockey player.
Here goes number 51, 2 minutes, interference.
Must have been off the face-off. We'll take another look at this. Number 51 watching in the middle of the ice with the face-offs. Well, I'm not sure where the particular face-off was as he came around. Jack Capuano not happy with having to kill another penalty. It's, again, establishing that 2-0 lead. Got things going his own way.
Well, coming up, the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, excitement every day. 10:26, the time of the penalty to interference on Nielsen. Buffalo 0 for 3 with 4 power play shots. Remember, they had a double minor, Brian Straight, in the box for the Islanders late in the second and very beginning of the third period. So Larson now goes down, and that's an easy clear for Cizikas.
Yeah, Larson just kind of tripped over his own feet. He came to the team from the Minnesota Wild, Howie, in that Pominville trade. Johan Larson, and getting an opportunity with more ice time because Gergensen is hurt.
Straight goes the other way with it, but it'll come right to Ennis along the board.
Islanders having control of the puck, opportunity to clear it, failed to do so. Not a good thing.
Ennis to Giunta, threw it down low, looking for Foligno, broken up, fired hard around by Straight. Nice keep at the line though by Bogosian.
A real good block, that one in the stomach area.
Now Bogosian waits at the blue line. This time he can't field the puck coming off the boards.
He made the difficult save and couldn't make the easy one. And you say air to the shortstop?
Something like that. Hodgson slowed down by Hickey. Cizikas can't clear. Ennis put it in front, blocked by Boychuk, and cleared by Cizikas.
Well, what an opportunity for Hodgson, as he had a shot just about 6 feet in front of Halak. Didn't get it up. Halak was able to get his body in front.
No shots yet on this power play for Buffalo. Maybe a chance here. The drop to Meszaros. He shoots. That's blocked aside. Didn't reach the net. Comes back in front, and Hickey clears. And that takes care of the penalty. Nielsen is out of the box.
Yeah, what a reflex save by Halak as Mazzaro came cruising through that slot area. Not much chance to react, but Halak did a real nice job. So Halak big on this penalty kill for the Isles.
One shot for Buffalo. It remains 2-0 New York. 7:16 to go in the third. Meszaros dancing towards the slot. Strome forces him wide. Strome jammed his right hand there a little bit. It looked like he shook it out after making contact with Meszaros, but he's okay.
Offensive opportunity. He's not hurt.
Well, we'll find out here. He moves it neatly to Tavares. Tried to come around the net. Now finds Hamonic straight on. He fans.
Fakes.
Yeah, that's his story. He's sticking to it.
There it is.
Hamonic scores! Just like they drew it up.
Only perfect. Only perfect, Howie.
Islanders lead at 3-0.
Now the little drop pass from Hamonic to Wisnowski, but it all starts with Johnny Tavares really driving wide. Ryan Strome, as you mentioned, had the puck. Shook it off a little bit, then gets it up to Tavares, and Tavares uses his speed to the outside, and then the Islanders go to work. There's the fake shot by Travis Hamonic, and then he gets a return pass from Wisnowski, and I think Kuhlman touches that on his stick. Looked like he might have caromed it just a little bit. Travis got his head up all the way, making sure he gets it through. Kuhlman's in perfect position. We'll wait and find out whether he scored it or not. Regardless of that, it's a huge goal for the Islanders with under 7 minutes to go now with a 3-0 lead.
Goleta throws it towards the front of the net. That's picked off by Hickey. The Islanders have had some things go their way in the third period. And after a stretch where it seemed that nothing was going right for them, now they've gotten a couple of little breaks here.
I agree with you 100%, Howard. They have not had much puck luck in the last month and a half, but they've got a couple of good things happen today.
Martin a little slow to go to the bench there with the Islanders changing. He went down hard in the Buffalo zone.
A little off balance when he was along the boards.
Down to 6 minutes remaining in the third.
It's like a scrum in rugby. They just leave the puck there, and everybody just closes in on one another, and nothing really happens.
Fine with the Islanders because time's a wasting.
And somebody pushed it out, just like in rugby, how you kick that football up to the middle and away you go.
Hamonic and Wisnowski get the assists on Kuhlman's goal. It was the Kuhlman tip, his 14th of the year. A Munster's goal at 13-13.
And he's been working hard, too, in the last half. He always works hard. I don't want to shortchange him, but he's had some opportunities and been particularly effective once he was returned back to the John Tavares line. Good for him to get one.
Kuhlman's had a good game. He's had 5 shots tonight. Been effective on the penalty kill.
He's really upped his game in the second half of the season. He's a good fit with Tavares. I mean, the other guys did a nice job for a short period of time, but Kuhlman was a good fit early on in the season. He's big, he's strong, knows how to play the game right.
Now Oposo surrounded, turns it over, and Ennis works his way into the Islanders zone.
And the Islanders need to be smart in these last 4 or 5 minutes. No turnovers. You don't need to score again, Howie. I keep preaching it all the time.
Well, you're watching the Foxwoods Final 5. Foxwoods excitement every day. Visit foxwoods.com now. Straight. Easy one for Makarov, and there's no further play. So time very much on the Islanders side. Now 4:27 remaining in the third. Kuhlman's made it 3-0. Maura Benanti from ABC's Nashville and Derek Huff from Dancing with the Stars in a dazzling musical celebration of New York City. Now through May 3rd only at Radio City. For tickets, visit Rockettes.com/spring. 3-0 Islanders, 4:27 left in the third. Here's the game recap brought to you by Tri-Honda Dealers. Those are the goal scorers.
When you talk about tertiary scoring, Howie, the Islanders have spread it out in tonight's game, which will be important as the season winds down and the playoffs become real.
And they're spreading the opportunities out as well. Hamonic plays one to the net that's stopped by Makarov, but you've got the Nielsen, Bailey, Oposo line. They've combined for 10 shots. Strome, Kuhlman, Tavares, that line's combined for 8. Kuhlman's had half of them. 5 now, actually.
And the Brock Nelson line contributed with the goal, and they've created opportunities, and they've played well. So it's been real good balance. The Cizikas line is always gives you the same commitment game in and game out.
Well, this is the penultimate regular season home game at the Nassau Coliseum. It's getting a little harder to digest as we get closer. But the Islanders in good shape as far as the playoffs are concerned. And this last week, you'll see everything straighten itself out in terms of when and against whom, but they'll be in Philadelphia Tuesday night, Pittsburgh Friday night. Pittsburgh is certainly a postseason candidate in terms of an opponent for the Islanders.
Well, right now, Pittsburgh's more worried about making the playoffs as Ottawa, surges on someone. I mean, Detroit has got a situation where they have struggled. They're still haven't clinched. Washington hasn't clinched. Boston hasn't clinched. So who knows how it's all going to pan out. The Islanders are only concerned with one team. That's their own. And with one more win, they will clinch a spot.
Ristolainen throws it in. Down to 3:23 remaining in the third. And now Bailey. Shots are now 35-21 Islanders. They've had a good third period here.
Yeah, they've really taken control. This is a team that has struggled in the third period over the last little while. This is a good sign for the Islanders. They were very good early on in the season in the third period and sloughed off a little bit. I wouldn't say that's not the right word. Weren't as effective in that third period.
Crowd is chanting, "We won playoffs." And look, there are still mathematical possibilities that say it's not a lock or it's not locked up yet, but they're going to get the playoffs. I'm sorry, I don't see a scenario where the Islanders miss this.
And you love to get all over Twitter too, because they're on your case when you say those things.
I confess, I did that one on purpose. Well, it has not been an especially busy night for Yaroslav Halak, but he did make the save of the game. It's brought to you by Visa Checkout.
And I thought he made several real good saves. This is the first one on that point shot, and then a rebound by Grigorenko. Swatted it out of midair. And then there was at different times, Howie, where he's had to come up and make some real nice saves. Buffalo Sabres would have been able to garnish some momentum from that. But Halak's been strong, and when he's needed to be, as you mentioned, Howie, it hasn't been under siege in any way, shape, or form.
2.5 remaining in the third. That's worked out to center. And Zadorov plays it cross ice. Now Tavares.
Wisnowski acting like a goaltender on that Hudson Deke at the blue line. Went down, made the save.
Coming down to the final 2 minutes of the third period. And that one's lifted back into the Islanders zone.
Interesting line for the Isles. Bailey, Oposo, and John Tavares. I'm not sure if he was just out for the face-off and making sure they won a defensive face-off.
Islanders get a couple more days off before the next one. It'll be on Tuesday night in Philadelphia.
The Islanders' schedule is really nice in that way, Howie, that they're not going to be, tired in any way, shape, or form going into the playoffs.
Now Bolton and Coletta.
Coletta's not going to fight Bolton. It's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. That would be a mismatch. Bolton's not 6'4", 6'5", but he is as tough as nails. And the referees will see if they assess any kind of penalties. It's going to be 2-2, I suspect. He's sending Bolton and Coletta are going to the box. And they're cross-checking one another, and there's the push. And there's Bolton just giving it the old, well, if you want to go, I'm available. I'm not going anywhere. But Coletta says, thanks, I'll pass on this dance.
And they'll just go back and take their gear off because their work for the night's over.
Bolton's had another strong game.
Good misconducts, too.
2-10. well. And hey, you had the opportunity, but he was spreading his wings. I guess that's what Bolts was thinking. I don't know if the 10 was necessary. Jack Capuano wanted to make sure everybody's lined up properly.
Washington has cut Ottawa's lead to 1. And remember, if you're looking for immediate gratification, Washington would have to win that game in regulation. And the Islanders, of course, would need to win this one in regulation.
I'm pulling for Ottawa, Howie. I'm not worried about the Isles. The Isles, Ottawa has to basically go undefeated the rest of the season for even to worry about them. Everybody else has to win hockey games. Second place is more important.
Here's Clutterbuck up high, shooting one off a leg. Pittsburgh lost their game this afternoon in Columbus, 5-3.
And Islanders will be 3 points up on them now.
Right. So we're into the final minute of the third period. Pittsburgh has one more game remaining than do the Islanders.
Casey Cizikas ragging the puck. Talk about puck protection. All right, boys, help me out. Where are you? I did my 30 seconds penance.
Ristolainen.
Breakaway.
It's Tavares. He's in alone. There's nobody near him. He shoots, and it's right on the goal line. The goal is washed out. The whistle blew before the puck found its way into the net.
John not happy with the quick whistle, seemingly a quick whistle. Now the referee was behind. John, this is off a change with Cairns off of Clutterbuck.
Well, clearly the whistle blew before the puck entered the net. Now let's just bookmark that in case Tavares misses the Art Ross Trophy by a point.
Let's just see. Well, he did have the puck. He had it underneath his pads, and John dug it out. Great opportunity for Tavares on that breakaway.
We're playing 4-on-4 here with those penalties to Bolton and Coletta. 27 minutes, 27 seconds. Don't worry, 27 seconds remaining in the third. The Islanders up 3-0. Puck in behind the net. Taken there by Strome. And again, the crowd chanting, "We want the playoffs." Tavares lets go a shot pass that's pushed wide by Strome. The horn sounds, and Yaroslav Halak has picked up his 6th shutout of the season. It is his 36th during his career. 6 shutouts in a season for Halak, one off of the Islander team record set by Glenn Chico Resch. back in 1975-76.
And you think about the number of times, the 2 or 3 times where Halak has had an opportunity and a late goal or a fluky goal prevented him from having even more shutouts. But very complete game for the Islanders. Yes, some pushes by the Buffalo Sabres at different times, and you would expect that from a Teddy Nolan team. But overall, the Islanders were dominant. They had plenty of opportunities, and Makarov was very good when he had to be, kept his team really into the game, but a solid win for the Islanders, an important win.
Well, the Islanders and their fans have been saluting each other all year. This was sellout number 26 tonight, 9th in a row. That's 26 sellouts in 40 games. One last regular season, and that's the operative term, home game here at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It'll be a week from tonight. And I'm sure there'll be some interesting pageantry leading up to the final opening puck drop. Well, our Newsday play of the game. Discover the power of Newsday. Get the latest sports news on the go at newsday.com/apps.
Fortuitous bounce on that pass attempt by Bogosian right onto the stick of Brock Nelson as they're in perfect position, and then the quick transition. Nelson clears himself. A good hard wrist shot. Beats Makarov. Or Makarov, whatever way you want to pronounce it, Howie, but definitely the play of the game.
It ends the same way. And what the Islanders accomplish, at least to this very moment, is to get their magic number for clinching a playoff spot down to 2 points. Ottawa cannot catch the Islanders in regulation or overtime wins, so it's down to 2 points, which means all the Islanders have to do is pick up those 2 points over their last 3 games. It doesn't matter what anybody else, specifically the Ottawa Senators, manage. But that's still, I would think, a foregone conclusion. Kyle Okposo, star number 2.
A good game for Kyle Okposo, and the Islanders need him to have the jump, the scoring ability, and just the overall aggressive and strong play in the corners.
And the first star of the game, Yaroslav Halak. So Nelson third, Okposo second, Yaroslav Halak, shutout number 6. Here's it from the crowd. Now he'll chat with Shannon.
Yaro, at this point in the season, it is important to have a hot goaltender. How comfortable and confident are you in your game right now as you guys are wrapping up this regular season?
You know, it was a tough game. They got nothing to lose. They came in, they wanted to beat us. You know, good for us. They played last night. They were a little tired, but we'll take it. At this time of the year, we need any points.
You can hear the fans here chanting, "We want playoffs, we want playoffs." I know you guys want the playoffs too. This must have been a relief to get this win under your belt and keep focusing on what you guys can do to control your own destiny.
Yeah, we just need to control what we can, our games, and try to win all of them. And obviously, if we win them, we'll get there. And obviously, we want to get there as well.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Yaro. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, guys.
Guys?
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. So Halak's been solid. That's 11 goals against in his last 6 games. Islanders win 3-0. We'll be back right after these messages.